It surely is not hard to understand why we so ardently wished for a go at the P.G.I.A. Tourism is our largest job creator and the biggest contributor to GDP and foreign exchange earnings. In 2019, for example, total tourism expenditure in Belize was $502.3 million US. But COVID-19 is decimating the industry. The devastation is such that between January and April of this year, tourist spending in Belize fell by $82 million US over the same period last year. And until the P.G.I.A. can reopen, it is only going to get worse. Now, even as we pushed to reopen, we had to bear certain facts well in mind. With regard to international travel prohibitions, the US decision to ban Chinese visitors from as early as January of this year was widely applauded. At its peak, though, only 82,000 of 1.3 billion Chinese were infected, and Chinese visitors to the US represented just about 3% of the US's total annual visitors. Yet, the US proceeded with its embargo on Chinese travel to America. Currently, the US also bans visitors from Brazil. 320,000 Brazilians are infected out of a total population of 210 million, and Brazilians represent just 4% of visitor flows to the US. In our own case vis-a-vis the US, we had to reflect on the fact that there are 1.8 million Americans infected. A third of all COVID-19 deaths are US, and that country is the source of 75% of our visitors. So the US, in circumstances of a relatively minuscule visitor flow from Brazil and China, nevertheless froze all travel from those two countries. The logic for our initial proscription ban on travel to Belize from the US in the context of their world-leading infection rate and there being our 75% source market is thus clearly irrefutable. That is why our drive to reopen the P.G.I.A. had to be subject to our doing our absolute best to mitigate the undeniable and serious risk of imported infections coming from any resumed flow of US visitors.